In the evening, the little flower-selling girl was getting ready to close her stall. There was only one rose left in her basket. When she walked to the intersection, she saw a beggar sitting by the wall. His clothes were dirty and old, his hair was messy, and there were only a few coins in the broken bowl in front of him. When passers-by walked past him, they either went around him or looked at him with disgust. The little girl stopped and handed the last rose to him. The beggar was stunned, then smiled bitterly and said, "I can barely even afford food. What use is a flower to me?" The little girl said seriously,
It cannot make you full, but at least it can remind you that you also deserve to be treated gently.
After saying that, she carried the empty flower basket and went home happily. The beggar lowered his head and looked at the rose. Something seemed to lightly hit his heart. He had not heard words like this for a very long time. After returning to his shabby little house, he wanted to put the rose down, but found that the table was covered with dust and trash. So he found an old bottle, washed it clean, and put the rose into it. But the clean vase looked too glaring on the dirty table, so he wiped the table clean. After the table became clean, the room looked even messier. So he threw away the empty bottles, swept the floor clean, and opened the window. Before long, the dark little house unexpectedly began to look a little like a home. At this moment, he saw himself in the mirror, unshaven, with messy hair, and clothes that were dirty and torn. He stayed silent for a long time, and suddenly remembered the little girl's words. Even a rose deserved to be properly placed. Why could he not start over? That night he took a bath, shaved his beard, and changed into clean clothes. The next day, he did not go begging again. Instead, he walked into a warehouse to look for work. The boss asked him what he could do. He said, "I am not afraid of hardship, and I am not afraid of tiredness. I only ask for one chance." The boss kept him. Later, he started from the very bottom, carrying goods, sweeping the floor, and unloading trucks. He gritted his teeth and kept doing the work that others found too tiring. Years later, through hard work and honesty, he opened his own company and became a successful entrepreneur. But he never forgot that evening, and he never forgot that rose. Many years later, he finally found the little girl from back then. By then, she had grown up, and her life was not wealthy. The man handed her a document and said, "What you gave me back then was not a flower, but the hope to live again. Now, I am willing to give you half of my property." The girl said with red eyes,
"But I only gave you a rose that could not be sold."
The man smiled and said, "But it saved a person who was about to give up on himself." Sometimes, a small act of kindness can change a person's whole life. Give someone a rose, and the fragrance remains on your hand.